Good evening, everybody. How are you doing tonight? It's your boy DC, and this is Out of the Fog. We're a local matter show that goes right across the province, hanging out with all the cool cats, making it all happen. And tonight is no exception. On the couch tonight, we have the amazing Patrick Griffin from the Oat Company talking about how the idea started in his kitchen. And now look at him. He's right across the country, over 300 locations. You're going to learn all about his story and some messages. If you're daring greatly and wanting to start your own thing, this guy got some things to say. Geoff Eaton from Young Adult Cancer Canada wants to talk to us about a very important initiative. It's called Recover. He needs 200 young adults, 40 or under, that have lived with, through, or beyond a cancer diagnosis. We're going to fill you in all about that project. And then finally, Andrew Rogers come through. He is an award-winning singer-songwriter, incredible performer. We're gonna watch a video from him and get his story and find out how he got to where he is today. All tonight on the couch, Out of the Fog. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and as my fellow volunteer, Michelle, chomps down off camera, we are here to celebrate our next guest and their delicious product that is making everyone say, okay. What do you have, Patrick?
Not too much. What do you have?
I think we should brand that. We should put that down somewhere. Okay. I don't know.
I see a rapper. I see an idea.
Yeah, it's somewhere out there. We'll come back to it at some point in our lives.
Love it.
So, dude, I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show.
Great to be here.
Such a huge fan of what the Oat Company is doing. And I can't lie to you about it. Every time I turn around, any store I'm in, there you are. Yeah. So, I'm going to ask you a question for the viewers at home who may not know what I know. Yeah. You might tell me you knew a few things or two as well. How did the Oat Company come to be?
The Oat Company came to be our family, our home, making real good snacks just for ourselves. So this was years ago, 2017, 2018. We couldn't find what we wanted. Like, couldn't find it. Snacks were too processed, full of sugar, didn't want it for myself, my family. And we started making our own. And we would have oatmeal Sundays where we would make a new creation for the week and a new snack. And then finally my daughter said, hey, maybe we can go to a farmer's market. And I said, sure, let's give it a try. And she held me to it in Easter 2019. The Oat Company, we went live, and we've been growing ever since.
That's amazing. Yeah, and a lot of great ideas do come in the day-to-day, just living life, and that's when sort of inspiration strikes. Now, were you always an entrepreneur? Or is this the first sort of radical idea that came across your desk?
No, I wasn't. This was credit to my daughter. Said, let's go. I don't know where we would be if she didn't, let's try it out. And all of a sudden, we're there at a farmer's market, and we made a whopping $60 at our first market. So it wasn't a financial reward instantly, but I love what the company's about. So our business, we're on a mission. So we are on a mission to help people eat more whole foods, real food, less refined sugar. The way we do that is through the brand. But really, we're mission driven. We get excited about helping people.
I love it.
And we started having those conversations across the table at a market, then another market, then a store, then virtually online, and now right to BC. So there's something there. I'm excited about it.
God.
Let's go.
Well, let's go is right, man. And so, the flavors keep on coming.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite? I want to know.
My favorite is I love Snowball.
Oh, yeah?
I absolutely love Snowball. It's just, I don't know, it reminds me of a cookie, but it's all healthy. There's no added sugar in there. That's my number one. And maybe a frozen, pro tip, frozen peanut butter cup. Whoa. Just a little cool, little chilled. Those two things. Really cool.
Wow.
But we have a whole suite of flavors, and we add some seasonal ones from time to time. We have sea salt brownie, some salt from Bonavista. We have wild blueberries, some Nova Scotia blueberries. All of our oats are all Canadian, so we try to really live that. Well before everything that's happening now, we were as much as we can. Let's really be about that.
That's amazing. And so what kind of feedback are you getting from the people? And, I'll start with family and friends who found out that you were daring to go to a farmer's market one day, and now a couple of years later, like, what's going on? What did they say?
That's what they politely said, like, what? You're going, like, where? And you're doing what? And then when this became my full-time job in December 2019, so that we're into our 6th year, it was really like, what are you doing? And you're making and you're selling. And they still have that. They still have that reaction. But, when they see where the business has gone and they've made that food maybe a part of their life and their routine, like that's really rewarding. One thing to get a sale, it's one thing to break into a routine. Love it. So the reactions are encouraging, but still skeptical sometimes.
Well, it's interesting, and I will say, like, based on the amazing product that I love so much, I mean, every time I'm within arm's reach of it, I'm like grabbing one for the road, shall we say. And to me, it's just such an amazing journey to hear about just an idea in a kitchen that led to the growth that you've had, and now from here to BC.
Yeah.
Like, how does that feel?
It feels real good, and I tell you, through that growth, which we're learning how to do it, and we're learning to get better at it, like we've stayed true to just being natural and no sugar. So there's a lot of food trends, there's a lot of super trendy TikTok ingredient. It's very tempting to chase it and go like white hot, but we're like, no, we're gonna stay with what we're all about, and a very enduring trend of natural. And that's what has resonated from this coast to the other coast. It's only real ingredients. We list them on the front. There's no sugar, which a lot of people are trying to manage.
Of course.
We've stayed true to it, and that is what has resonated with people. So that's exciting that we're onto something. We're getting onto something.
I gotta ask you, people are sitting home now on the couch tonight watching us have this conversation, and they're saying, oh yeah, easy for him to say, I couldn't do that. What's your advice?
Oh my, you absolutely could. Like, I have, as I've joined the ranks of entrepreneurs, like, they're my favorite people because they're normal. And I mean that in the best way possible. They're regular people who believe in something, who are taking a swing, and they want to see some change that they're pursuing. So us, like, I want to see change around what we eat, what we snack on, the ingredients that we grow, the ingredients that the supply chains use, the ingredients you buy for your family. Really excited about it. We've brought a product to the food chain in Canada that didn't exist because I used to look for it, couldn't find it. So that is, that's exciting for me. And wherever you are, whatever you think you may want to do in food or otherwise, like, just go. Like, that is my business plan. Just like go and you'll do it.
Well, I'm proud of you, man, and the team who makes it all happen. And who would you like in this moment of hang here into the camera to throw some thanks to? Who helps make it all happen for you?
Oh, I'm gonna go right to my mother. I'll tell you why. So my mom, Vi, she was my small business superhero. So my mom, growing up, owned a bakery.
Oh, no way.
She owned a bakery. Amazing bakery in Grand Falls, Windsor, where I'm from.
Nice one.
And while she was looking after and wrangling 4 of us, she worked in my father's law office. And that, at the time, I didn't appreciate it. But it planted some seed that took maybe a few decades to come out that, like, I can do that. Like, the small business thing in a competitive space where you shouldn't be successful, like, I can do that. So my mom, like, seeing her do that, it still powers what we're doing today.
Vi.
Yeah.
We love you, girl.
I love you, Mom.
I love it. Listen, we're loving you, and we're loving the old company, and we're so proud of you and the growth that's going on. Will you come back and give us an update sometime soon?
Absolutely, love to.
I love it. Thanks, Patrick.
All right, thanks, DC.
Guys, I'll tell you what, the Oat Company, it is blooming, coming through across the country and beyond. So make sure that wherever you buy anything, you're going up to the cash register and you're saying, hey, where's the Oat Company at? All right? This is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and like I told you before the break, we have all stars on the couch tonight, and our next guest is one that I love to see on the couch because of the amazing work that you do for young adults living with, through, and beyond a cancer diagnosis. Geoff Eaton, how are you?
Awesome.
I'm glad.
Great to be here.
I'm glad you're here.
Great to see you.
Good to see you too. So, you know, when I'm lucky enough to have members of YAC, Young Adult Cancer Canada, come through, there is always something going on, whether it's the annual Shape for the Brave campaign that you do, or any of the amazing programs and services that you guys bring to the country to help so many folks through such a difficult time. And so I want to turn it over to you, my friend. Tell me more about the Young Adult Cancer Canada organization so we at home, the viewers, can learn more about the organization.
Well, Donnie, a couple of years ago, I was a 22-year-old kid pushing my limits anywhere I could find them and having a deadly time doing it. And I passed out at a buddy's reception and went to hospital, and 3 days later I was diagnosed with leukemia. And YAC was born out of that first cancer experience, and through that experience I learned that, you know, some of the challenges I was dealing with as a young adult were different than the people that surrounded me in the hospital, because most of them were my parents' and grandparents' age. And so YAC was born, and we evolved into this beautiful complement of face-to-face and web-based support programs with a focus on community. So we're not just aiming to have a one-time retreat yourself adventure, climb Gross Moor, incredibly powerful, reclaim your survivorship. We're not just trying to have that one-time experience with those people, but we want them to come and connect and be in a community of young adults just like them, so they can get the support and share their wisdom with others as we all kind of move through and beyond cancer together. So that is what we've been doing. COVID put a break on the face-to-face stuff. Last year we got back to it, which was just amazing.
Awesome.
To get back on Gross Moor and Survivor Conference. So we're still in that space of balance and back and forth now with the face-to-face and the web. And it's magical, the combination of those two things.
Well, it does take a village, and you have an incredible, mighty crew of believers in your orbit who make all of it happen. So I want to take a moment to give a shout out to the Young Adult Cancer Canada community. You are vast, you are growing, you are amazing, and I'm just so proud to see all the good work that you've done. And now, speaking of all the good work that's going on, when I think about recovery and recover, well, that harkens me back to a chat we have been having and a very important initiative that Young Adult Cancer Canada is moving through. Why don't you tell us more about that?
I would love to. And let me just say, does every leader get a disproportionate amount of the credit for the success and the effort of their team?
They do, but it takes a good man like you to say what you're saying right now.
I think it's true, though. I think it's deeply, deeply true.
It's true.
Deeply true in the YAC's case. And the team grows in all kinds of ways. Volunteers, boards, participants, shavers, as you know.
That's right.
But right now, we are in the early phases of our second major research effort. The first one, the YAC Prime study, started to fill in some of the holes. There's many in the young adult cancer experience, things like fear of recurrence, social challenges, anxiety, depression, work. And then we saw, well, let's take on another big effort, and it is the Recover study. And it is an effort that we're looking to gather 2,000 stories, 2,000 voices from across the country. And we are going to follow them over time because we want to understand what holistic recovery looks like, Donnie. Physical, mental, social, financial. Like, it's not just about remission, right? Like, we want these young adults that come out the other side of cancer treatment, we want them to be able to have a life that is worth loving. So we want to start to fill in some of the gaps, and there's lots. And specifically, why I'm here tonight, I really want 200 young adults from Newfoundland and Labrador in this study. I want to have an incredibly robust Newfoundland and Labrador cohort in our study, so we can see how is Newfoundland and Labrador doing across the country, what you can learn things about how we can help them better and support them more. So any young adult diagnosed under 40, 0 to 39, who is currently over 18, so not just a young adult now, you could be 65, and in fact we would love the older voice. Because you can imagine, Donnie, like if you have cancer as a young adult, they tell you, your chances of 5 years, but there's not a lot of information about what the road to 5 years is going to be like. And there's almost nothing about the road to 10, 15, 25 or beyond, we want to paint that picture for these young adults in our community and beyond.
Well, I'll tell you what, I appreciate everything you're saying about the Recover Initiative and what you're looking to do in terms of recruiting these folks so you can follow their experience under the umbrella of all the different dimensions from financial to health and all the things that, you know, comprise a life, right? And something that I feel very moved by every time I see it is the cancer hits different for young adults, and truly it does, and I think you have a lot to say about that. So when it comes to the Recover Initiative and what you're working through, how long game are you going to be looking after these people in terms of documenting and following their journey? Like, what's that like for you and the team to execute?
In my vision, Donnie, I'm starting with 50 years. 5-0. Like, our initial ethics is a little shorter than that. It's 5. But in my view, I want us to be able to follow these people over a long haul, because I just, a year and a half ago now, celebrated my 25th cancerversary.
Wow.
Like, I know how unique that is in the cancer world, right? Not a lot of cancer patients on a percentage-wise get a 25th. But for young adults, right? Like, I'm 49, like I'm not done. I'm not like hanging it up now. Like, I want 35, I want 45, I want to go beyond, right? So we want to be able to paint a picture for these young adults to have them understand this is what life can look like. And of course we want to learn from that, so our own programming changes and it gets better. And we want to learn where are we struggling and where are we doing well? Like, are there places where they're doing well? Like, and learn from that, right? So we can just get better at helping them live with, through, and beyond cancer, because that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm looking at the camera now in this moment, and if anybody out there is someone between the ages 18, 39, diagnosis, you want to be talking to them.
Yeah, and even we can go beyond that now. So it's actually diagnosed anytime under 40.
Okay.
So the kids who are over, but also all you have to be in the study is over 18.
Okay.
Because we want to have those longer term survivors, we want their voices in the study because it helps paint the picture of how have they done, how have they recovered, how have they returned to work, how are their finances, how's their social life, how's their mental health and physical health. We want to know this, right?
Yes.
This is incredibly, you can think about how helpful and empowering that's going to be for the young adults this year who are 1 year out.
Geoff, I'll tell you what, man, you and the team are doing the right thing, and the people across our country have YAC to thank. Will you come back again and tell us about things as they progress?
Great to be here. Thanks for the time.
Well,
200 young adults, Newfoundland and Labrador, we gotta have it. Let's go.
Let's go. 200 young adults. If you know someone who is living with, through, or beyond cancer, under 40 years old, you want to say, have you contacted YAC for their amazing project that they're working on, and they need you. So thank you so much. Come back again. Loves.
Thanks, Dave.
Guys, it's Out of the Fog. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, everybody. It is Out of the Fog, and it is killers only here on the couch tonight. And so I said to myself, what am I going to do to really make this show super special? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have one of the best rock voices in the country hanging out on the couch tonight. And enter Andrew Rogers. What's up?
How's it going, man? How are you?
Well, I'm trying to like pump you up, you know?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on.
So I'll tell you what, man, from one, caterwaul singer to another, whenever you're in the musical industry and you end up hearing someone who blows you away, I think I ran up to you one night and I was like, yeah, you're the next one up, brother, because you just ripped that up on the stage. And that was years ago. And now, look at you. Awards, album, videos, tours. I mean, what do you think about it all, man?
I mean, for me, man, it's just, I just love it. And like, you know, you're always trying to move forward, but I almost don't care where it goes. I just like doing it, you know.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, that's
You know?
awesome to hear that, because that means that you are doing it for the right reasons, and
think
that means
so,
that
but-
fortune will come to you because you're not chasing it. Sometimes, like, the energy is like, you know, if you're just doing your thing and you're enjoying life, it'll come back to you.
Yeah, I think you got to be careful of what you're chasing.
True that. Yikes. So I'm going to ask you some questions for the viewers at home. Where are you from?
I grew up in a small town called Hants Harbor in Trinity Bay.
Okay.
Which, when I say Trinity Bay, everyone assumes over around Bonavista Vista area, but it's not. It's the other side that not so many people tend to visit.
Oh, okay.
Real small town, about 350 people or so, and yeah, I moved to St. John's back in 2008, and I've been in this area ever since. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Were you always a singer growing up? Always a player?
I started singing at 17. I was a bit of a late bloomer. I started playing guitar at 14,
Yeah.
but I grew up, or I spent some time living with my grandparents, and my grandfather was a guy who, he'd actually wake me up in the morning out in the kitchen playing guitar, playing like old Merle Haggard
no
songs and
way.
like the old outlaw country type stuff. And at the time, I just thought it was, I guess, in a way annoying. I kept being woken up, and I just thought everybody had this like crazy old man who played old country songs. But that was something, you know, once I got older, I realized that was a special thing.
It is.
And so music for me at a young age was like very normalized. Like I didn't even realize that there wasn't music in some people's houses, maybe,
True
you know.
that, yeah.
But so yeah, that's kind of the beginnings for me.
And so, solo gigs, band stuff. Well, I mean, listen, we can talk all day about the various musical interests, but you
Yeah.
know, why don't you fan it out on the plate for us?
Yeah, I mean, I've been, I guess if people know me, they might know me from being a member of Fairgale for the last just over a decade now.
Wow.
And yeah, I've been playing, I guess, like a side guy, I suppose, with my good buddy Nick Earl and the Reckless Hearts. Been helping
right.
them out. You know,
You're
it's
everywhere, man.
Yeah, I'm all over the place. And I released a solo album in July, so
right.
I've been pursuing that as well. And I just, like I said, I just love to write songs, man. It's just everywhere I go, I'm just looking for where, you know, where's the song here, you know.
Yeah, it's funny. I was going to ask you, like, where does it come from? But truly, and as someone who loves to write as well, it can come from anywhere, man.
Yeah, it can come from anywhere. Like, you know, like I sit down, man. I feel like I'm mining, you know. And there's a lot of, like last night, for example, last couple nights, sat down to the table for maybe an hour or more, strumming and mumbling and nothing. Just like, and that happens a lot. You know, you're just digging. Finally, you might come across something, but it's, you know.
Listen, man, we're going to throw now to a video, a song, Downtown, near to my heart. Talk about it.
Yeah, it's a song written for downtown St. John's, essentially. I think it's fairly universal, probably can apply to anywhere, I think. But as I mentioned, I came from a small town. I moved downtown. I was kind of naive to the world. I lived down there for almost 5 years. And the song is really just me kind of, you know, talking about some of the characters around me. And, you know, living downtown taught me a lot. I have a different perspective on life, I think, than I did before. I think I'm more empathetic because of it, and I realize that, you know, how, you know, I should be very grateful for my own circumstances. And the story just kind of talks about some of the characters and the different lives that people are living around me, and yeah, I just kind of poured it out on paper, and whatever it is about that particular song, people seem to like it. So.
Do they ever?
Yeah.
So we're going to throw this. I hope you come back and hang out again. Will you come back and see us?
Absolutely, man.
I love it.
Yeah.
Until then, Andrew Rogers, Downtown. Check it out.
Somebody screaming Bloody Mary in the street. Somebody else shoots the gun. There's a drummer in the distance swaying off the beat. Yeah, and the feral dogs sing along. Somebody screeching the tires again. And some shit box calling me louder than a jet. Going all out, trying to impress, all showing no finesse. It's just the sounds around here. You never really know what you're gonna hear. It ain't always nice, it ain't always pretty. No, it ain't Tina Turner, it ain't Tom Petty. It's downtown, whoa. It's downtown, whoa. It's downtown, whoa. It's downtown. There's a woman on the corner, well out of her prime, a little worse for wear and robbed her pride. There ain't a lot of ways these days to make a dime, and the good old boys keep coming coming back. There's an old man granddad reaching down the sidewalk, cigarettes somebody chucked on the ground. He's in his golden days, no he ain't got long now. They've been saying that for years. It's just the sounds around here, you never really know what you're gonna hear. It ain't always nice, it ain't always pretty, no it ain't James Brown and it ain't Elvis Presley, it's downtown, whoa, it's downtown, whoa, it's downtown, whoa, it's downtown.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out here at Out of the Fog tonight. Thank you so much to Andrew, to Geoff, to Patrick. Your amazing stories, not-for-profit, small business, music and arts. I mean, this is what goes on here on the couch. Thank you so much to Rogers volunteer and staff, and we'll see you next time.
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
We want to hear from you. Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Call, email us, or scan the QR code to take our quick survey.
Kick off your movie night at home with Love Hurts.
Marvin Gaye. I like your place here. You gonna hook us up?
How's your credit?
A little funny guy, huh?
So sorry about this. How are you holding up?
Not good, Marv.
My name is Chase Nicholas. I am a Mi'kmaq hockey player. Growing up, I always remember my family talking about the Mi'kmaq as the creators of the game of hockey. In grade 7, I did research on Mi'kmaq hockey sticks as the first sticks of the NHL. I found a Mi'kmaq hockey stick made in 1917, the same year the NHL was formed. I was surprised to find out the very stick I was holding was made by my great-great-grandfather, Alexander Cope. In 1934, an elder known as Old Joe Cope wrote a letter to the Halifax Herald claiming the Mi'kmaq created hockey. I found out later that I am a direct descendant of Old Joe Cope. There was a time when Mi'kmaq children were torn from their families and not allowed to speak their language, losing their words and stories. But the stories are coming back to us. Stepping on the ice, I take pride knowing the roots of the game of hockey stem from my ancestors in the Mi'kmaq Nation.
It's closing time, and you stayed out longer than you planned.